Welcome to part 2 of Career Reboot. So you've already thought about the kind of career that you'd like to follow, and now we're going to think about putting in an above average job search in a very tough marketplace. People are making the same mistakes at the moment, and one of the great mistakes that people are making is of course following the herd, doing the same sort of thing over and over again, applying for jobs with several hundred people also chasing the same position, and one or two other habits that they're finding difficult to drop. The point is, of course, that in an upbeat marketplace, jobs were fairly easy to come across. You could just generally wander around and you'd find something. Now you have to work pretty hard to get a good job, and very hard indeed to get a job which is a match for you, particularly if that means a change of sector. So how are you going to shorten your job search time, and how are you going to get better results? Well, the first thing is to get organised. Now, that isn't just about going online and registering with job boards and so on. In fact, that's probably the last thing that you should do. You need to think about the process that's going to happen and think about it backwards. So think about the outcome. The outcome is you're going to be sitting in front of a decision maker having a job conversation. Now, how is that outcome going to be arrived at? Well, it's going to arrive through one of a series of activities. But if you were a betting person, the chances are, the greatest chance of getting into that room, into a conversation, is through another kind of conversation. So it's probably through natural curiosity, asking around, telling people what you're looking for. That's the kind of result that you're going to get. Now, that won't work for you if you haven't thought about your message in advance, because your outreach strategy, as it were, is all focused on a simple idea that when somebody mentions your name in a conversation, they're just going to say 2 or 3 things about you. Now, if those 2 or 3 things include the fact that you're unemployed, or that you're getting a bit desperate, or that you don't really know what you're looking for, then that doesn't help you at all. But if those 2 or 3 pieces of information say something about your skills, your qualities, your attitude, then you're starting to make progress. So it's about planting a message in people's minds and having a very short, simple burst of information ready at your fingertips. If you go to a party and somebody says to you, okay, you're looking for a job, what are you looking for? Don't use job titles. Give people a short recipe, the right mix of things. Maybe say something about the sector, but always ask the question at the end, who should I be talking to? Because it's that natural curiosity and making connections that shortens a job search very considerably. I'm going to suggest to you that you adopt a multi-strategy job search. And that simply means using lots of different activities at the same time and remembering which the high value items are in your list of activities. So yes, do register with job boards, do apply for jobs in the newspaper or jobs you see online, and register with agencies as well. But don't spend all your time on those things. It's so easy, isn't it, to spend all day staring at a screen and just registering with job boards and emailing your CV. Well, the reality is this, that an email is forgotten within 2 or 3 minutes, a telephone conversation in about half a day, but a good, warm face-to-face conversation is something that you'll remember for maybe 5 or 6 months. So every opportunity you can to take it to get in front of somebody else. Have a conversation with someone who's doing a job that you find fascinating. Reconnect with people from your past, people you used to work with, colleagues, suppliers, clients, anyone. But don't ask them for a job. Tell them what you're looking for, certainly, but spend most of the time finding out about their world, and their organisation and their sector. That's the way that people make a breakthrough, for example, from private sector into the third sector. They do it by immersing themselves and taking the opportunity to spend time with people and say things like, how did you move into this sector? What's happening? What's changing? Who else should I be talking to? Your message should be short and sweet and memorable. And it's probably something along the lines of, this is what I'd like to do. This is the kind of organisation I'd like to do it in. Very upbeat, very positive, very easy to remember. But whatever you do, plan for rejection, because in a tough market, you're going to hear the word no a lot more than you hear the word yes. And even the best salespeople know that they need to hear that word no at least 3 times to get a yes. Most of us in a difficult marketplace are going to hear no a lot more than that. So plan in advance for rejection letters. Plan for people not returning your call. Plan for people saying no to you being interviewed, because that's simply a statistical result. It isn't actually objective feedback about the quality of your CV or the nature of your job search. People will say yes, particularly if you keep knocking, if you keep looking, and you keep asking, so that people remember you and remember your simple message. Don't apply for jobs just for the experience. I really strongly recommend that, because you will give away the fact that you're not really interested, you will get rejected, and it will knock back your performance. So do whatever it takes to get back on your horse, keep that energy up, whether that's talking to a friend or doing something which is totally unrelated to work. Understand what gives you that energy boost and get back into the game as quickly as you can. So what I'd like you to do at the end of this session is to look at the task that we've got for you here. And that's to think about how many jobs that you've applied for in the last 6 months. And imagine in your mind this target. Okay, a target that's got a bullseye and an inner ring and an outer ring. And ask yourself how many of the jobs you've applied for are actually jobs that you place in the center of your target. In other words, they're well matched to you, the kind of thing that you are really interested in doing, and the kind of job that you've probably got a reasonably good chance of at least being interviewed for. Everything outside that is just random shots. So it's learning that discipline of saying, what are my real results based on that kind of focused job application process? How many of your applications have been on target and on message? If you want to know an awful lot more about job search activity, you can look at my book Career Reboot, which is full of short tips and checklists to really help you tweak and improve your job search performance. I'd also love the opportunity for you to come and listen to me at Forum 3, which is a regular and very exciting event for the third sector, where we help all kinds of people move into very interesting careers.